the crack.
Wait, I'm not ready. Beer! Ass and titties.
Boot.
Boot, scoot, and boogie. A little messy in that one. Welcome back, race fans, to episode number 18 of the Armchairs Racers podcast. I am your host, Tommy Joe, alongside my co-host here,
Alex Reckless.
And NASCAR is back from its 1 week off.
And so are we.
So are we. We were going to come out with our State of the Sport address last week, but unfortunately, we had some good weather come up and do some much needed modifications to set the camper.
Right before all these, not that it's been raining a lot, but
it's just
the weather has not been great.
No, it's not cooperative.
No. Jersey's been getting moist.
So is Northeast PA. Napa. You good? I think I lost my co-host. He found the rubber band.
It's a racetrack.
It's a racetrack. Yeah, it's
There's a racetrack that's shaped like that.
I know. Is that Laguna Seca?
Maybe. Kind of. I don't know. If I just looked at it, I'm like, how is that a racetrack?
Like I said, I've lost my co-host. So, how was your weekend? How was your week, rather?
My week was so long. No, it wasn't even long. I had a 3-day week. Because Monday I took off because of the long weekend.
Oh yeah, because of Father's Day, yeah.
So last weekend I was going to be like super busy. Saturday I did something.
Talking about this past Saturday or before Father's Day?
The off weekend.
Did we do something?
We did something Monday.
No, Sunday. We went to the Mets game.
So we did something.
But did we do something Saturday?
No, not us.
What did I do Saturday?
I think Saturday I did the tux fitting for Andrew's wedding.
Ah.
I did that Saturday. Sunday we went to the ball game.
Yeah.
Monday I took off because I'm like, I need a weekend day.
Yeah.
So I took off, and then you came over, started doing the AC unit.
Yeah.
It's not completely done, but it's in.
It's in, yeah.
And it works. And then I had a 3-day week, and then I started jury duty on Friday. Friday was just the orientation.
I can't believe that they had you come in.
I didn't. Friday was just an orientation online.
But so today was the first day you came in?
Today was the first day I went in.
So when I did my jury duty, this was before COVID, so you just showed up. But
yeah.
I was originally supposed to show up like let's just say I was supposed to show up Monday.
Yeah.
Like, that was like when I got the notice. But they say, hey, just check in. And if your numbers, like if we call you, then come in.
Yeah.
So I think it was like Thursday I actually went in.
The week before? Or
no,
the week after? Okay.
The Thursday after Monday, I actually got called to go in. And I remember going in there and like all like the staff were like, wow, I've never seen so many people here before. This is my first time doing jury duty, so I had no idea.
Yeah, they have a lot of people.
But they were expecting it to be a really long case. Because I forgot. It was supposed to go to like around like Thanksgiving. I think this was like August.
Really?
Yeah, they were expecting like a really long case, and so when I got in there, we all go into the one room, and then like we're hearing like small claims court or something like that before that, where it's just like small like land disputes or something, like very very small cases in like this like gathering area. It wasn't a courtroom; it was just like a gathering area.
They shove you all in the basement.
Yeah. So then that gets done. So now we can all finally sit down, and then like I'd want to say there's probably like 300 of us.
I don't think there was that many.
When it was like between 200 and 300 of us, and then they split us up into groups of like 80. I was like the 6th group called.
Oh. I was the first group called.
I was like maybe it was groups of 50, but I was like the 6th group called, like towards the end, but not the last one. And then we finally go into one courtroom, and then we go into another courtroom. Now I've already been there from whenever we started to like now it's like 2, like it was after lunch.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we even got lunch yet because we weren't really like like on the case. They're still just trying to go through. But I'm there for like 4 hours or something like that. And then finally they asked the first question to us, which was, "This is going to be a long case. We're expecting it to go like 3-4 months. Is there anyone in here that would be stricken by financial hardship for being on a case that long? Raise your hand." I raised my hand. Okay, you could leave. I could have told you that when I walked in the fucking door.
They're not even asking us that right away. This is they're expecting us.
That was the first. I could have told you that when I walked in.
I know. It's so stupid. But like this, they're expecting a week. So it's some sort of like small claims thing or whatever. I don't know. But they split us up into 3 groups of like for like 3 judges.
Yeah.
And mine was the first one to go up, and it took a long time just to fill the 8 seats. And then they kept, "Can we excuse this one? Can we excuse this seat?" Like they didn't fill it. So we didn't even get a jury in the first day.
See, if I had a job that pays for my jury duty, I'll take it.
I think my job is paying me for it without any you know.
I only get paid one day to get excused at my current job, and if I had in that case, like I'm literally gonna walk in, like, all right, who's going to jail?
I know.
And so I can get kicked out.
I'm gonna be like, I am a very biased person. I don't want to be here. I'm not gonna pay attention. I don't give a fuck. But I couldn't even do that because I didn't.
Just wear like a Black Lives Matter T-shirt with like a Confederate flag hat or something. Just like really like set them off. Like, what the fuck is up with this guy? Like.
Hello, Earthlings. I'm an alien, not from Canada or Mexico.
No.
I'm not from this world. What the fuck is wrong with you? But like, I didn't even get a chance to do that.
Yeah.
They haven't called my name. Stupid. Anyway, I think my job's paying me for it each day.
Well, we should find out.
Well, my boss, one of my managers, he said, like, you're going to be paid for it. I could put you on jury duty days. Just let me know how many days. So.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Because my dad gets paid. Like he was on a case for like 4 weeks once.
Oh God.
It was like some dental medical malpractice.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Which ended up being bogus anyway.
This really sounds like a stupid case, the one that I got assigned. The courtroom I'm in.
Like, anybody here have an IQ over 10? Yep. Yeah. So all you with your hands raised, you can leave. You're too smart for this case.
It's oh my God. It's stupid. I can't say it here.
No, but definitely not on here. I mean, unless you don't want to do it.
I won't. What did I do this weekend? Because we didn't even talk about this weekend.
No, yeah. So this weekend, yeah.
What did I do this weekend?
I had my birthday Thursday.
Happy birthday.
I think you're older now.
Where? How was your trip?
It was good. So we left Friday night. Got there Friday night.
In Pennsylvania, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was only a 2.5 hour trip.
Nice.
But
cute little cottage.
Yeah, it was on an airport. Like English town.
A small airstrip.
Yeah, a small airstrip. Cool. Yeah, it was cool. There was a hangar on the property, and then like there's a road that just takes you down to a taxiway to the airport. It was pretty cool.
So like if you had like a small plane, you could fly in.
Oh yeah.
And to that you write that Airbnb and fly in. That's fun.
Yeah.
For the rich. For the ones that
for the upper middle class that can afford like a Cessna or something.
The ones that like to go on submarine trips.
No, let's not stoop down to that level, right? Well, let's not sink to that level.
My weekend was really Saturday because Sunday I was just relaxed because all the pop-up showers really can be outside. We kind of did a little shopping.
So just to cut you off real quick.
Yeah.
There was one time, I think it was like Saturday I think it was Saturday. I left to go pick up dinner. Mm-hmm. And it didn't rain at the house we were at.
But it rained where you
But
were.
on the way to where I was going, which is only a 10-minute drive, it downpoured to the point where I couldn't see where I was going.
Jeez.
And then when I got to where I was going to pick up the food,
Sun.
it was dry. It never rained there. And then as I got back to the house was dry. It never rained there. I was like, what the fuck?
You just went through this one spot.
Yeah.
Mel had a family friend who graduated and there was a party. So we went to that. And I was in Colts Neck. When we got there, it was pouring.
Ew,
And then it rained a little bit, but then it got sunny. But the whole weekend's been humid.
Yeah.
But that was my weekend. Sunday we stayed in. I didn't watch the race. I didn't watch any races. But I'm here. Mel and I have been binging Lost.
Yeah.
We started that. That's fun. So that's my weekend.
Did you ever watch it before?
A little bit when it was first out. My dad's a big fan.
So do you know why they can't be found?
I kind.
Do you want me to tell you?
Isn't it because they're dead?
No, because I believe the island's moving, isn't it?
I don't remember.
Oh, it's been years.
Yeah.
Unless
But-
that was a theory or something. But
Maybe. I know there's so many theories when it was when it was out.
yeah.
But I'm still just. We're watching. I like I said, I've seen episodes and parts of it, but I never. When my dad was like watching it when it was on TV, I didn't keep up with it. I was young then. But now I'm watching it. All right.
In the spirit of the memes, Jill and I watched Titanic.
Nice.
Yeah.
Loved
I haven't seen it in years.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember being a kid watching it, waiting for the titties and the sex scene,
Right.
and then having the double cassette VHS because it was that big,
Yeah.
It was almost 3 hours. But I mean, it's still like visually, it holds up for the most part. But there's like this one scene that I just keep playing over my head. It looks so bad. It's after the ship breaks in two. And the stern comes crashing down.
Yeah.
And they show because I mean when I was a kid I was obsessed with the Titanic.
Yes.
Like I was in the school library one day and I found like this book that was like 882 and a half facts about the Titanic because that's how long the ship was in feet. And I was like, this is my personality now. And so when the stern came crashing down. When they did the ship breaking, they used a 1/8 scale model.
Yeah.
Because I mean, obviously James Cameron did have like a mock-up Titanic made because it was cheap. That was actually cheaper than doing CGI at the time.
Right.
Like there's like a 30-second clip of CGI that was like $3 million.
Right. Yeah. That's how it was then.
And it looks bad now. Like it looks okay, but like you could tell it's CGI.
Mm-hmm.
But so it's from behind the stern, so you're watching the rudder and the propellers crashing down into the water, which is a scale model.
Yeah.
And then there's people in the water flailing around.
Yeah.
So you see the stern come crashing down, and then but like you can totally tell that it's two separate clips, just layered over each other. Where like. After the episode, I'll show you, but you just see it coming down, and it just doesn't look the same as what's going on in front of you.
Okay.
And it just looks so bad.
I know the clip you're talking about, but I guess I never really paid attention to that kind of the detail. Like either I was looking at the water or I was looking at the boat. Never where it's cut.
Yeah, but
where
like,
it's two different scenes.
You
shots.
can see a line. Yeah, I just thought that was funny.
I guess I know exactly what shot you're talking about, but I never.
All right, so I guess we had enough off track here. Let's talk some NASCAR here.
Some shot.
So, biggest news of the off week: Josh Berry. The worst kept secret in the garage. Josh Berry signed a deal with Stewart Haas Racing to take over the 4-car for Kevin Harvick in 2024.
I just realized that was still on.
That's fine.
I wonder if you. I
don't care. It's hot in here.
I know.
Well, I see. Now I can feel that one.
Yeah.
So, how do you feel about Josh Berry going to the 4-car?
I think he deserves it. He's been racing a couple years in Xfinity and doing good, and he had his couple of fill-in starts. Excuse me.
Do you think he fills in for Blaney this week?
No.
We'll get into that later.
fills it. He had his fill-ins in the Cup, and I mean, who else? Who else does Ford have?
There's like Ford has no one. They don't really like the only one Ford has would be Zane Smith, but I think Front Row Motorsports has their hand on him.
Mm-hmm. Like I remember, you said it. Like Toyota had everybody. Yeah. Now they have no. Now they don't have anybody.
All they really have now is Sammy Smith. But even like Chevy, you have RCR
and Junior Motorsports has all these. They have all the drivers.
Like if you're gonna pick a driver from the Xfinity Series, like. I don't mean this in a bad way to Josh Berry, but like, I feel like Josh Berry is the only one in there that you could really take. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like who else? Like any driver in the Xfinity Series, who would you take?
No, I mean, his name is definitely the one that comes out
the most
because he filled in.
But like, let's say this was last year, and you also had Ty Gibbs, Noah Gregson, and AJ Allmendinger, potentially.
Mm-hmm. I mean...
Because, like, Justin Allgaier, he's going to stay there. That's where he should be. I think...
He went back down, right?
Yeah. I think that's perfect for him. I think he's right where he belongs. And he should stay right there. There's nothing wrong with staying in the Xfinity Series.
Cole Custer's not coming up.
No. I mean, he already got demoted. He's not going to go from the Gene Haas funded car to the fucking... flagship car. Not gonna happen that way. But and then again, in another regards, not to make a shot at Stuart Haas, but it's like, why is Josh Berry gonna stick around another year in Xfinity when he's already shown that he can drive in Cup?
Yeah.
Where else is he gonna go in the Cup garage?
He can't go in the Chevy cars.
No.
So
there's no Chevy rides open. Mm-hmm. There's no. The only option that would have happened was maybe if Junior moved up to Cup. And took Josh with him. Maybe.
But you don't see... I mean, unless... We've talked about this. Unless you get rid of one of these smaller teams or whatever, you're not going to see... I don't think we're going to see Junior Motorsports come up. Because there's not enough spots.
Yeah. And then and another thing that I've thought about before, like if you add Dale Jr. into the Cup Series...
It's another Chevy team.
That's another Chevy team. And Dale Jr. obviously is going to get a bigger piece of the pie.
Yeah.
So is he going to get a bigger piece of the pie than, like, Trackhouse?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Is he going to get a bigger piece of the pie than RCR? Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously we know he's not going to get a bigger piece of the pie than Hendrick.
Right. I mean, he is Hendrick in Xfinity.
But, like, so, like, that's another Chevy mouth to feed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why I just don't see it happening.
No.
Junior doesn't... I mean, I know Junior wants to do it, but logistically it just doesn't make sense.
He said even after, like, the whole... next gen thing, it's not something that's going to happen right now.
No.
So, well, I think he eventually might buy into something unless...
Eventually, yeah.
Unless he's getting... I'm sure he's getting enough money being the Hendrick Chevy,
Because there's also a rumor going around that Kevin Harvick and Dale Jr. were going to go buy into Stuart Haas Racing. Possibly buy out Tony Stewart.
Yeah.
And bring Chevy back. Because, Dale's not doing anything without Chevy.
Mm-hmm. But again, that's
how reliable that is, I have no idea. I doubt that. I don't think that's happening.
Mm-hmm. That's another Chevy team. And then what, you have one Ford team? Two? One?
Yeah, you'd have two. Three. You'd have Penske, Roush, and Front Row.
I forget about Front Row.
I know.
Because they're so...
But, I mean...
and Rick Ware.
Yeah, well, they don't count.
I know.
But I mean, like the 30s, like that 30. Not McDowell. It's the 38. That car has been putting up some pretty decent finishes.
You've been saying that about McDowell.
But I mean, McDowell has well too. But whether it's Gilliland or Smith, that car is putting up decent finishes, better than expected for that team. You know what I mean? I think McDowell is a competent driver. He should be getting top 15s, and he is.
I mean, for how long he's been driving in the Cup Series.
But yeah, I mean, I just feel like there was no other path for Barry or Stuart Haas to take, because there's no one you're going to put Riley Hurst in that car?
Right.
No.
There's nobody in the Ford camp that's like really performing.
No.
And again, Chevy has all these drivers, and Barry's ready, and he has nowhere to go. So, and it's the logical answer.
Yeah. Now, last episode, I forgot to mention that Sonoma was the last race for Fox, and you had NBC picking up with Nashville after the off week this week. Mm-hmm. Now, let's be honest. Both broadcasts have their strengths and weaknesses, but they both pretty much suck. I mean, you can agree to that. I mean, I feel like the broadcast used to be much better back in the day, and I'm not even talking about commercials because, like, I get it. They need the commercials to make the product. Mm-hmm. But, like, commercials are ultimately lose-lose because if you have a race that's predominantly long green flag runs, they might just throw away the commercials earlier in the race so that they can have more green flag racing towards the end. But ultimately what ends up happening is that the lack of cautions in the front half will be offset by the multiple cautions in the second half. And what are they going to show when cars are going pit road speed around the track?
Commercials.
Because what else? What is there to show? You know? Oh, they're just going to keep talking about the same three things. How this guy's good. How that guy's good.
As the drivers do this.
Yeah, I mean, where else are you going to show? You're going to show the commercial.
Right.
You got to have the commercial in there. But hopefully, this next TV deal that comes out next year or 25 can make Fox and NBC better, and also by adding some competition. You know,
for sure.
Because there's rumors of Amazon coming on board and streaming the races on Prime. There's rumors of the Xfinity series going strictly Peacock. Now I have a bone to pick with NBC.
That's all year?
Yeah. So I have a bone to pick with NBC here because couple things. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Fox is amazing, Fox is great. Like I said, they both suck. Children, you're both terrible. But at least when it comes to at least when it comes to like an overall race day package for watching a race, I think Fox has it hands down because they have race day, which is on FS1, which is a pre-race show before the actual coverage of the race.
They talk about what happened last race and what's coming up.
It kind of gets you pumped up, and then it'll either go to the regular race on FS1 or it'll jump to the race that's on Fox. Yeah. And then they have their pre-race before the show, and it gets you pumped up for it, you know?
They have all their...
Yeah. And like, so let's say the race gets like moved up or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They would be able to continue to they would probably cut their show short.
Yeah.
And go right into
pre-race for
the actual pre-race festivities, you know what I mean? Like driver intros, national anthem, the invocation, the command to start your engines, all that would still be able to be seen. Yeah. Now, with NBC, they don't have a show like that, nor do they really have a network to put that on. They do have Peacock, and that's my other gripe. You have a streaming service. You want to promote the streaming service. Why wouldn't you put every fucking race on Peacock?
Yeah.
Because I have to watch the race then on the NBC Sports app, which is glitchy as hell and terrible. Like the Fox Sports app is miles better than the NBC Sports app.
I think we're going to see the NBC Sports app go away at some point.
It should have been going away, but it's still here 3 years later.
I know.
Because NBC Sports went away after 2020.
The channel is gone. You have Peacock now.
Yeah. Like, I don't get why you don't just show every race on Peacock. You have a streaming service ready to go. Or if you don't have a pre-race show like Fox has Race Day, put a show on because like you have the post-race on Peacock. Put the pre-race on Peacock. You know what I mean? Now, I do want to congratulate, but I do want to commend NBC since the race did start earlier due to weather. They still ran to the end of the scheduled time, which was 11 o'clock. So they had post-race coverage till 11 o'clock, which I really liked that because it really got... It was just nice to keep hearing conversation after the race. You know, it was interviews you wouldn't normally hear because they're so short for time, you don't get to hear it. And like I was telling you before about the pre-race stuff, I was like, okay, some people might not watch it, but that's like having, like, imagine not having NFL Game Day or MLB Today or whatever there is for the sport that you watch. Imagine not having that game day pre-game show.
Yeah.
You know, because it gets you pumped. It gets you pumped up, and it keeps you up to date with what's going on in your favorite sport. You know what I mean?
Most of the time they, again, there's the race day.
Yeah.
That's on Fox, but that's Fox. It's not even NBC.
And that was on at 2:00.
Yeah, like
The race started at 7:30.
if you're sitting down to watch TV, you're gonna be there before. You're gonna put it on, and they're gonna once again go over the stuff coming up. They're gonna go over qualifying the race that was just the day before. Xfinity or your trucks or whatever you're watching, and it's gonna you're gonna get those last second interviews before they go in. Interviews maybe with a crew chief, like the practice is like this. We're gonna we made some of these changes. Hopefully it's good for the race. It's those last second. Before, and then you said like the invocation and the national anthem and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
They put on the show at the track, but it's for air too.
Exactly.
It's there. It's for everybody to see. And NBC has all these other channels besides streaming. They have a lot of channels, whether it be their news channels, their or entertainment
I know, like,
channels.
sometimes a race that's got rain delayed has ended up on like MSNBC, the news channel.
Does everybody always have that? No, but it's a channel you could put it on.
Yeah. And then another thing that I was going at with here, which completely lost my mind, Am I having a stroke?
Yeah.
There was something I was going to add, but I completely forgot what it was.
Something about streaming.
It was something
channel
about
pre-race.
NBC, but I guess it wasn't that important because I forgot what it was. But. So, to give a quick rundown of the two lower series, you had Carson Hocevar getting his second career win and first win at Nashville. You had AJ Allmendinger hold off the cold custard for a win at Nashville. But did his damage help him get the win?
Maybe.
Now, I don't know too much about this, but I know that Cole Custer was complaining that he had a similar situation happen to him where he had similar damage, and NASCAR made them repair that damage. And apparently, AJ Allmendinger got a pass and got the win. Now, I will say that if that is true, that Cole Custer had similar damage to AJ Allmendinger, and NASCAR made him repair that before it went back on track, and they did nothing for AJ, he's in the right here.
Yes.
But if it's like drastically different, where like, the quarter panel is hanging off or something, that's a stretch.
I mean, I saw, I was watching the replay of the race, and I saw that damage of AJ's car. They had it on pit road, and they had it patched up.
Yeah.
So the crew worked on it to make it passable, that nothing will fall off, and that it could stay at speed. They did the thing.
Yeah.
And it did everything that NASCAR asked for.
Mm-hmm.
So whether aerodynamically, what changed from the car from it getting damaged, did that help? Maybe. Sometimes that happens.
It is. And I think that's a part of racing.
But I don't think they did anything wrong. With Cole Custer, if his damage that he had to get fixed was before they fixed it, maybe then I don't know what happened there.
Again, I don't know what happened either.
I don't know what race that was from.
Look at it,
but I just think Cole Custer is a little cold bitch. And is a little butthurt.
I think it's more leaning towards the butthurt side. That he's still getting his ass whooped by cup regulars.
I don't know, but I mean, like when you told me about this when we were watching the replay, and we were talking about it, we used to have those big issues before in the Gen 6 before they changed to the because now you can't do that.
No, because it's composite. You can't
composite, and they're symmetrical. But when you had the asymmetrical and they were the metal, like you had either the tire changes pulling the flares, or even the tire changes body check. Remember when they would body check it?
Yeah,
The whole, like, not even just the side skirts,
but like the whole, like the just side of the car, just to get it to bend that way,
to get that really flat, and then the corner.
Yeah,
that was fun to watch. But you can't do that.
No.
I mean, that's manipulating the car.
Yes. Which is thus manipulating the outcome of the race.
But now obviously you can't do that. I mean, I don't know how, because I know some of the parts on the Xfinity car are composite, but I don't know if they all
The body's
are.
composite.
Okay. But yeah, it's just, if they really, like, when they were fixing it, if they really did something to, like, move something and then tape it up, I mean, that and that.
Yeah.
But I think it looked like it was just taped up. So I think
clearly NASCAR was okay with it because his win didn't get rescinded.
Yeah.
He's still the winner. But yeah. So, Cup Series. Cup Series back at Nashville. Third year for Nashville. I think, again, that this car has proven that its best tracks are the intermediate tracks. There's a lot of good racing, a lot of three-wide racing. I remember at one point, one of the restarts, you had three-wide battle for the lead and a three-wide battle for fourth.
Yes. The lead three-wide battle went for like 2 or 3 laps, and at the end of that, 4, 5, 6 were going.
Was going for it. I was like, hey, this is pretty cool. So
again, that only started on the restart, but
yes, but still,
they had it.
Yeah. So Tyler Reddick loses the tire
on pit road.
On pit road?
Oh, it was on. The car was on pit road.
I mean, he lost the tire on pit road. Like, the tire came off the car on pit road.
But he was on track right before that.
He was on track when it was coming off. Like, the lug nut was on pit road. NASCAR gave him the penalty as if he lost the tire on pit road. Now, I feel that the rule should be...
You leave pit road.
You leave pit road, that's it.
That's going to be an on-track tire loss penalty.
Yes, because even if you were to come back around and go on pit road and then lose the tire on pit road...
They're going to go caution.
That's still going to throw a caution. Which is going to benefit you because now there's a caution and you go back to the tail end of the lead lap.
Yeah.
So you need to get penalized for that. You know? I just thought that was interesting. I mean, Tyler did have a good race up until then. I'm still kind of surprised we're seeing issues with these tires.
Well, it's still the fact
not tires, but the wheels.
It's still just a fact of these teams trying to be fast.
Yeah.
And they slip up. They put that jack down too soon. The tire's not set. You tighten it. Maybe this one was just a little closer because he made it a whole lap.
Yeah.
It could have been just that off.
Because imagine this happened during the playoffs.
There'd be major playoff implications.
Playoff implications! Work out and go! But, like, imagine this happened during the playoffs, and, like, that penalty could really determine what happens to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know. I just thought that was surprising that he didn't get it for... It's like, okay, yeah, it came off on pit road, but that lug nut's on the track.
Yeah, the lug nut came off and the tire came loose on the track.
Yeah.
And
then you were saying when they were picking up the tire...
Oh, the AMR safety crew, they were in a pickup. I pointed this out to you. They're in a pickup, but the bed had a cover on it. So they threw the tire in the back window, or in the back seat.
The back seat,
of the cab. But, like, you have a pickup truck. Why do you have a cover on it? Any other pickup truck, you have it open, you throw the tire in and get out of there.
Yeah. Or even my truck, I have the tonneau cover. You can just slide it in there. You put it inside? Like, what the fuck?
Idiots. But I do think from what I was watching, because I only saw, the action.
Yeah.
But from what I saw, it did look good. It's a longer, one of the longer concrete, because it's a
mile and a third.
It's an intermediate, but it's a concrete track. So, like, in the cold, it's got grip. From when you saw on the Xfinity, in the heat, it has no grip.
Yeah.
So it is a very, it's a very different track, and I think it's a fun track to watch NASCAR, because I think even with the Gen 6, it wasn't too bad. No,
I mean, I think I remember Kyle Larson dominating that race.
But I don't think the racing was too bad.
No, I think the racing outside of that was still good.
Mm-hmm. So I think, Nashville is definitely a good track, and this race was pretty good, and What were you? We just talked about the tire and the 3Y, but I think was there a little more
about the race?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there are loads more. So speaking of safety, Ryan Blaney selflessly decided to pay tribute and test out the new safety modifications to the next gen car.
to the front end.
Yeah.
After the Kyle Larson T-bone.
Yes. So what happened that Keselowski didn't get going on one of the restarts, shuffled everyone back. Bowman ran into Busch. Busch ran into Blaney. Blaney got sent into an inside retaining wall where there was no safer barrier.
And I was saying this, like everybody's like, why is there no safer barrier on the wall? Like Nashville is only their third year now. Like it's still newer in the series, and I was saying this, they're still trying to get the fairgrounds in. Who knows if they only go to Nashville once, they're gonna go to fairgrounds. That's more the name.
Yeah, because that's in downtown Nashville.
Yeah, but you were saying, then maybe they could do 2 days this and that, right? And I agree, but Nashville's still just in, like, they have it all on the outside, but like it even took a lot of the regular tracks that have been in the circuit for a long time to get safer barriers on the inside walls. It's still probably just a thing that, like, they didn't have the issue yet, and they
exactly, like, it didn't.
They're so fresh, they're so fresh in the Cup Series, and again, like I said, they might not have it for the whole. They might not be in the Cup Series for long, so they didn't really.
Yeah, because SMI now owns, both Nashville tracks. They own Nashville Super Speedway, and they will own. They will be in control.
Of fairgrounds.
If that goes through.
Yeah, which I believe it is. It's just.
It's right there. Okay. But there's a lot of people complaining about it. There's a lot of Karens. Now the guy that wants to build a soccer stadium's complaining about it. Dude, what the fuck you complaining about? You're just gonna shut up. This is the South. We fucking race cars. The only balls we kick are the guys we don't like.
They race there. They race there regardless. They already race there. It's just it's just upgrading the facility.
SMI is really working with the city of Nashville to get this done because they're gonna run mufflers when they race there. Mm-hmm. They're putting up sound barriers. Like they're really trying to. Not like bend over backwards, but like they're really trying to compromise to get this to work.
Yeah.
So racing can happen there. So a NASCAR Cup race can happen there.
Mm-hmm. And again, they already race there. So
yeah, I mean not NASCAR, but they have
racing,
weekly racing there. Yeah.
So why not just upgrade the track and make it better? But it is. I think that's why they might not have had a safer barrier where you hit.
Yeah. Because that whole area was just.
Concrete
wall.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, he did look a little shooken up after. How long has that been there? Not. I mean, I'll see the projector. I know, and it's just. Was that there like last week?
Maybe. You weren't here. You weren't in here last week.
2 weeks ago, or did you not have it yet?
I don't know why.
Because like I feel like it just I've seen it there for so long now, but I don't know. I got a little off track there. The whole area was concrete, but I mean, Blaney did look a little shooken up after it. I mean, he was clearly pissed off because he even went on to say that he'd pay for the fucking wall himself if he had to.
I mean, it wasn't they weren't at full speed.
No,
but it was still with the new crumple zones, it was hard enough hit that front end
probably just knocked the wind right out of him too.
Yeah.
Because I know NBC kept showing the right side of the car. I'm like, I don't want to see the fucking right side of the car. Show me the window net.
Yeah.
And then eventually they pan to the left side of the car. The window net's still up, but he's moving in the car. Like, all right, good. Like he's conscious at least. You know. Because I mean, with these hits nowadays, especially to a concrete, you don't see too many hits to a concrete wall anymore.
Not anymore. All these tracks don't.
I mean, granted, that was a slow speed, but that car got fucked up.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure that I would be surprised if that car goes back to R&D.
Mm-hmm. Well, like it's the first front end with the modifications.
Yeah.
Like with the old front clips that were modified to crumple like that, it would have looked like you barely got into a hit.
Yeah,
like when
it would have looked okay, but he would have felt it.
Yeah, but even though hard front end hits, you weren't getting They were feeling it, but they weren't hurting.
Well, you were hitting a concrete wall.
I get
you would hit a car that would absorb. You would hit the wall.
Yeah, that's still.
You were hitting something that would give.
That still does play a big part in it for sure. But I think that Crumple Zone did do its job.
Oh yeah.
And
Steve Letarte gave a great update on the modifications from the beginning of the year to now.
Did he?
Of the car, yeah.
What,
he went over, like, during the caution, he went over how they changed the rear supports, the rear bumper, how they made the metals thinner, how they added some bars they just got rid of, front and back.
Yeah.
Some they pre-bent, so it still holds the structure.
NBC did
but if it gets hit,
NBC
crumples.
NBC did need to do that because this is their first race, so they did need to talk about that. So this is like the right time too.
Yeah.
But this was the big thing was cutting the holes.
Yeah, because not all the teams have the cars done yet. But I'm sure they're putting it out. As soon as they can get them out, they put them out. You know what I mean? Because I know that this has to be done by Atlanta.
I mean, I would assume they all have it. They want to get it done as fast as they can, and they have the parts, right? Because they have the original.
Some teams are asking Dallara, the one that makes the bodies, if they could do it for them. Not like Hendrick or Stuart Haas, but like smaller teams that don't have fabricators anymore because they fired them. They're asking Dallara, the company that makes the bodies, if they can do it for them because they don't have the manpower or the man hours to do it.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. But I guess we'll see if he races. I mean, Penske doesn't even race in Xfinity anymore.
Nope. There's just who's Ford in the Xfinity?
Stuart Haas.
Oh.
Which would be Riley Hurst and Cole Custer. Now that's another thing. There are rumors that Harrison Burton is going to replace Eric Almirola next year. What happens to the 21 car? What are you going to put Riley Hurst in there?
I don't know.
I mean, I really feel like there's not that much talent in the Xfinity Series right now.
No, there was a lot, and now there's not.
Yeah.
You might see some dipping into the trucks.
Because, like, Brendan Jones is mid.
Yeah.
Josh Berry's great.
Brandon Jones was in the Cup a little bit, right?
No? He's still young. Who else is... Sam Mayer is mid, unfortunately. Justin Allgaier's not going anywhere. Sammy Smith is good, but he's still young. I don't think who else raced for Joe Gibbs. Because you got Sammy Smith, got Ty doing some races. Who else?
I don't know.
The only other names I can think of is Austin Hill, Sheldon Creed.
Which is RCR.
Yeah. I mean, there's not really that many big names anymore, you know what I mean?
No.
I mean, you got Parker Kligerman, but I don't know if he can go full-time.
No, because he still likes to he does...
Let me see. I mean, he races full-time in the Xfinity Series, but, that's a more limited schedule than the Cup. I don't know. But, to cap off this amazing race that we had at Nashville, Ross Chastain does the unthinkable. He races clean. He raced hard.
He did.
And he brought home the checker flag.
He made some good moves.
He did. He raced strategically and efficiently.
Yes.
He was putting that melon noggin to work.
He learned.
He learned something. What happened to Ross Chastain? Because after Darlington, he went from hefty to wimpy. and then after this off week, he's like, I'm him. He put it together. He put it all together. He passed Denny cleanly. Didn't wreck Denny.
Well, he qualified. He got Trackhouse first pole.
Yeah.
Qualified well, raced well, passed everybody cleanly, and he raced everybody. He was in that 3 wide.
Yeah, he was.
Did you see his move where he went 3 wide, like right through the 2 cars?
Yeah.
Almirola and somebody else.
I think it was Noah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which Noah was happy about that.
But he didn't hit him.
No. But yeah. So it was nice to see him win. You know, another watermelon smashed. And then did you see? Kyle Suarez, Daniel Suarez go to celebrate with Ross
After you showed me.
and then
Sorry.
play along.
No, I did not.
Hey Alex, did you see when Daniel Suarez went to go congratulate Ross Chastain and he ended up running right into Chase Briscoe?
No, I didn't.
No, you didn't. I thought I showed you it. No.
That was funny.
That was funny because he probably just was set on Ross. Didn't even know that Briscoe was there, and just
because they were all like kind of single file, and Briscoe was just coming around on the outside, and then
you just made it right and just ran right. Like if there was any moment that like summarized Briscoe's season, it was that. Mm-hmm. Just completely blindsided by fucking someone not paying attention. But I think overall the race was good, and like I said earlier in today's podcast, that because the race started earlier and ended way before the scheduled time, you had post race till 11 o'clock because the race ended right around 10.
Okay.
So till 11 o'clock, you had almost a whole hour of race coverage, post race coverage, which I thought was great. Anything else you want to talk about Nashville?
I don't think so.
No.
You watched it, so you have more.
I did. I think that's pretty much it. I think it's time for Darth comment of the week. Don't you think?
Yeah. I did notice a lot of people complaining about the coverage.
People always complain about the coverage.
Every single person complained about Fox, and then they're like, I can't wait for NBC. I can't wait for NBC. I can't wait for Dale and Jeff. And then
I can't stand Jeff Burton though. I can't.
I can't stand both of them. Like
you have Dale Jr. and Jeff Burton that sound similar. Oh my god! My god! And then you have Steve Letarte and Kyle Petty who sound similar too. Like, how do you find 4 guys that sound like 2 people? How? How the fuck do you do that?
Like, they got good names there, but it's just like you said, they sound the same.
And Jeff Burton and Dale Jr. are always disagreeing with each other. Always
yell. They don't shut the fuck up.
Who thought it was a great idea to put fucking Dale Jr. and Jeff Burton, the loudest people in the booth, on the exit of pit road with fucking... Here, make some car noises. Louder. Much louder. Oh, so you got the car going by this and then oh my god, slide job. I'm like, why is the balance so high on the cars? Like, where are... I thought they were giving like a play-by-play from a car. Like, it was so loud. What was that?
I think maybe I'm glad I didn't see it.
Yeah. I mean, eventually they moved them up into the booth. Mm-hmm. But like, what the hell?
That's funny. But yeah, so many people are always seeing people like, can't wait for NBC, can't wait for NBC, can't wait for Dale Jr. because everybody loves Dale Jr. Complain about NBC.
Yeah.
This one...
You got it? You want to do this one?
No, you can do it. Okay. This one I found real quick, complaining about Chevys.
Yeah. So, can't wait to hear Fat Rick cry about how Chastain took a victory from the track Fat Rick's team owned. Checkered flag emoji, watermelon emoji, checkered flag emoji, watermelon emoji, checkered flag emoji. So happy cheating crybaby Hendrick car did not win. I'm trying to think of all the teams that have gotten penalty in the past year. Obviously Hendrick Motorsports.
I mean, yes, that was a big one.
Stewart Haas Racing, Toyota, Joe Gibbs, that's one. Roush, Front Row, JTG, Colleague. Penske.
Only Hendrick's cheating though.
Yeah, only Hendrick. I mean, so if you don't like, if you like any of those other teams I just announced, and you're calling Hendrick cheaters, why don't you go look in the mirror and check yourself before you wreck yourself? Because you know what, baby? They all cheat. They all push the envelope. They all do it.
What is it? You're not trying if you're not cheating?
Yeah, you're not trying, you're not cheating. You ain't winning if you ain't cheating either.
No.
I can guarantee you, if they took that one car back to R&D, there's going to be something that didn't pass.
I hope not.
Well, they're not, because they don't take it back. They don't take the winning car back to R&D. Because could you imagine? Because like by the time they get the car back to R&D, and then by the time they get it back to R&D, and then that's why usually when they go to R&D, they don't disqualify. Because it just throws everything off.
Okay.
Because it's so late in the week after the race, you know what I mean? Like, do you really want to wait for fucking Tuesday or Wednesday to find out your driver lost?
I guess it's... because we had the whole thing with last year with the Toyotas at Pocono. Yeah. I guess that was, you said they knew about it, right?
Yeah, they knew about it. They went right. They went right there to look for it, and it was there.
Mm-hmm. And same thing with the Hendrick Chevys with the louvers. Like, that was something they knew about.
Yeah.
The three,
which again, I still don't get why we never saw the louvers, because they showed the thing from Austin Dillon's car.
Yeah.
They showed the
Briscoe,
the thing from Briscoe. Where are the louvers? Mm-hmm. Where are the louvers, NASCAR?
They showed did they show the tape from the Toyotas?
Joe Gibbs did that.
Okay.
Joe Gibbs took a front clip with the tape on it, and they put it out in front of their hauler, which I applaud that.
Yeah,
I applaud that. If you're gonna cheat, you're gonna caught, own it.
But I think they said, did they show that? It'd be like, this is what we were caught for. Like, it is something different. But is it? Were they like, is it really something that?
I think it was more like, hey, this is what we did. Yeah, we did it. I think it was more like that.
Okay.
Which I still feel like if they played it right, they could have won the appeal.
I think so.
Because you could almost argue that you put it on the wrap and not the car. Because I'm sure you could probably even get vinyl that's thicker in spots.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like different layers.
Yeah. But that's for another day. So don't forget to tweet us your NASCAR takes at Armchairs Racers Podcast on Twitter.
Excuse me.
So shifting gears here. Shifting gears and going to cities, we got the first Chicago Street Course race, the first of hopefully 3. So this is the very first street road course race in NASCAR. Mm-hmm. The first street course being the original race on Daytona Beach, where they raced down 1A or A1, whatever it is in Florida.
The highway.
The highway that's right there, and then they would turn onto the beach and then turn back on the highway. That was the first, that really would be the first road course, because I don't even think the street was straight.
No.
I think it was kind of like...
It had a little bend.
Yeah. So, I guess
that
was
also like
course.
a 4-mile race, wasn't it?
Yeah.
4-mile track.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like 2 miles up and then 2 miles back.
Yeah.
But, yes, I don't think other than like that Daytona track, like the Cup Series hasn't been on like a street race.
No, I think this is the first legit street road course race.
Yes. Now there have been K&N.
Yeah.
But not any.
Not Cup Series.
Not Top Series. Has there been truck?
I don't think so.
Maybe I don't think so. So this is big steps.
Yes.
Into route racing.
Now I have been vocal about this from the day they announced it. Mm-hmm. I'm not so worried about a safety factor as far as, like the city of Chicago. The thing that I'm worried the most about, that it's just going to be perceived as an inconvenience to the citizens of Chicago. Mm-hmm. They're not going to enjoy it. They're going to hate it, and they're probably going to do everything in their power to make sure NASCAR does not come back next year.
Like any other track.
Yeah. Because we're not racing at Chicagoland. We're racing in their backyard now.
Yes, we are in the city.
Yeah.
Streets are closing. Blocks are closing. Like it's like you said, you saw something about a city goer going. When they started making the actual closings, like the area is closing down now for NASCAR for this week, and you said some Chicago journalist was like, I thought this would be like a marathon. You know, if like a marathon going through the city, you can kind of just roll by and see it. But no, they have the area closed down. Like it's a ticketed event. You have to get there, which is understandable for any sporting event. But they'll probably it's like it's in their backyard, but like they still have to pay to get there. You know, to see it. Yeah. But
I mean, I guess if there are any businesses that are like buildings that are like skyscrapers, I mean, I guess if they're around there, I mean, obviously that's free.
Well, but, yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure.
Like, I'm sure if you have ID to get somewhere, I'm sure you can get right in.
I'm sure there's going to be some watching parties.
Like, oh yeah,
but I, as a road course fan, want to see it to go well. But like NASCAR kind of built this track, you know, NASCAR and iRacing.
Yes.
Is it good? Is it? I mean, it's not like it's a new market either, because again, Chicagoland's like right there, so like it's the same area.
I mean, Chicagoland, not too far from Indianapolis, not too far. No. I mean, it's that same general market, you know. I mean,
that like central, Midwestern type thing, but there are cities that do this. Plenty of cities across the country that do this. That know how to close everything down, how to handle the closures, and I think they should. If NASCAR wanted to do a street course, they should have gone to a city that already does it.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree. Politics aside, whatever aside, I'm just talking about a strictly racing product. Mm-hmm. I think they should have gone to literally any other city but Chicago. But like a track a city that already has a race, like Long Beach,
Detroit,
Nashville, Detroit,
Florida, just outside Tampa, St. Petersburg, whatever it is.
Yeah, you have Miami.
I
mean, you have Vegas now. I mean, there's lots of places within the country that you could go to. St. Pete's. There's plenty of places in the cities you can go to where you could probably even do a doubleheader.
With another
series, and get it done. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And just test the waters. How do these cars work
on a street,
on a track with track limits?
Mm-hmm.
There's no runoff.
There's no. It's wall.
It's a wall. Yeah.
And so like, because now they had to build these walls. They had to map out the street. Now it looks like it's in a nice, you know, like going by the park. Like it's in a nice area, but the way they built it out, it's just two rectangles.
It is, yeah. It's two offset rectangles, and you have a curve around
the fountain.
Yeah,
which is nice. But then, like where they can come together, they're using it looks like just one intersection. So like that part is tighter. Like the way it's mapped out. Like if they went to a track that's already a city that does this, you got a track that's already mapped out. They didn't have to map it out.
Yeah.
That's my only gripe with it. I want to see. I don't care what's. You know, I didn't really care what city it was. I don't care. It's Chicago.
No. Oh no, I don't really care about it.
It's just the fact of that Chicago doesn't really do the street race.
Yeah. Nor do they want it. I don't feel like your average Chicago citizen. I don't think they want this race. Mm-hmm. It's just another inconvenience to them of living in a city.
Yeah. Because it's just a bunch of right-hander, 90-degree turns and straights, other than going around.
I never even thought about that. It is.
The same intersection.
Yeah. It is the same intersection.
So I think it gets tighter there.
Where is this? This is Grant Park, right?
So, oh no, that doesn't go around the fountain. That's just the fountain's up there.
Fountain's up there. It just goes around this little.
There's like a little.
Yeah, but it's two offset.
I think there's a park there and a statue or something. Like it goes around something. So,
it's this way.
When you're looking at the city, yeah, it's like it's by the landmarks. It's nice, it's scenic, but the track itself is just not nothing stands out in that track.
No.
For like racing, like, you know, road course racing, they have like their passing zones or their straight zones, like with F1 and Indy that have their push to pass or their DRS, you know, and then they have like corners that are like good for passing and corners that aren't good for passing, whether it's F1 going for time or Indy, you know, going for position, but you obviously you can't just push the issue because it's open wheel. This track, none of those series would go to this because there's nothing you could do. It's a bunch of 90-degree turns and a couple of straights.
I feel like it should be here somewhere.
Are you down, huh?
Yeah.
Search the park.
Oh, it's literally like in the middle of Chicago.
Everything's closed.
Yeah. So it's literally... Let me turn off
traffic. It's that intersection right there.
Yeah, I think so. No.
Because this is the left and that's the right, because it comes back in that way.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, that is the intersection. I mean, it's
a big intersection. It's like 4 to 5 lanes each way. Maybe 6 at some of them. Because I think the road is right here.
Yeah, I guess that's big enough to just...
Because you're not going like 3 wide into that into these turns, but it's tight.
But I never even noticed that it's the same intersection.
It's one intersection that has 2 turns.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll probably have the walls right kind of against each other, but it's not a well planned out track. It's just a couple of blocks.
Yeah.
That are rectangular.
Exactly.
There's nothing that stands out as like good passing zones.
No.
I mean, you could do some pretty good bump and runs, but you're not going to do it because you don't have a lot of space. You're going to start wrecking people all the time.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so that actually is like right in Chicago.
It's
like there's the Willis Tower, there's the
Chicago
the Art Institute of Chicago, Cloudgate, the Chicago Theater. I mean, it's literally right in Chicago.
Well, that's all. Like, this is on the water, and then there's the downtown. Yeah. It's like, if you're going to any of that, you're not going through where the track is.
No.
But it is in downtown Chicago, where
like, it's just...
Block.
No. Do not enter.
Yeah. But, you know, it's not like in the middle. It's not in the middle of everything, but it is right.
It's not like Times Square, but it's still like...
It's there.
You're still in New York. It's still just like being anywhere in New York. You're still in New York. Mm-hmm. You're still in Chicago. Mm-hmm.
It's still definitely right there. It's just off to the side by the park.
So, I don't think the racing is going to be well. I think the racing is going to suck. I don't think there's going to be a lot of passing. It's probably going to be a caution-filled race. Mm-hmm. I think we might get a good finish, but that's it. Like if we don't have a memorable finish, the race is going to be a bust.
Yeah. And I think it's just because of the layout.
Yeah. Because, like, NASCAR fans don't want this. Chicago citizens don't want this. Why are we doing this?
Mm-hmm. I like I said, I would like to see a street course race.
Oh, me too. I just don't think this is
the way to do it.
This is the way to test it out. You know what I mean?
Test it out at a track that it gets done.
Yeah.
In the city.
Like, I think Nashville. I mean, but then again, okay, so what? Nashville's gonna have 3 dates, but like.
Yeah.
I think it would be cool though to have like a rotating city.
What's the closest track to Detroit?
Probably Indianapolis.
All right, that's still the kind of the same.
No, Michigan. Duh.
It's like 3 hours, but Michigan has 1 or 2 dates. One now. It used to have 2, but Detroit is Motor City.
Yeah.
Go to Detroit. They do street racing there. They just moved it.
You know, can you imagine Darfs not racing in Detroit?
They should love it.
I know.
They should love it.
No, because Detroit's bad. Detroit's bad, man.
But it's Detroit Motor City. That's where Ford's from. You know, they sell. You know,
Chevrolet's from.
We celebrate going, you know, to Michigan because it's by Detroit. It's where that's their home track. Well, why don't you go to Detroit? They have racing there. They do racing there.
I still think that you should be a rotating schedule for this. Like, if for whatever reason this race is amazing, like, it shows promise, I think they should do a rotating
to the cities.
city every year. Mm-hmm. Make cities bid for it.
Sure.
Like Super Bowl.
Sure.
You know?
I think that could be a good idea.
So instead of us paying to go there, you're paying us to go there.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm. I don't hate that it's in Chicago. I just hate that layout.
Yeah, like it's just for me. It's like the location's not great. The time of the year is not great. Like Chicago doesn't scream July 4th to me.
Yeah.
The layout is terrible. Mm-hmm. And it's narrow. Mm-hmm. Like there's more cons than pros here. You know what I mean? And I hope next week when we go on here and we record, I'm eating every fucking word I just said.
Yeah.
I hope so. I hope I am. I doubt it though.
When does Indy go to St. Pete?
The beginning of the year. March, April.
They should really do like a Florida, fucking Daytona, Homestead, St. Pete, like that whole southeast, like maybe even Atlanta.
To do a Florida swing instead of a West Coast swing, Florida swing.
Start with a Florida swing and then go West Coast.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Because then you could do all that stuff.
You know, it'd
there.
be really cool having IndyCar at the Daytona Roval. Those things would see some serious fucking speed.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool.
That'd be really cool.
Do 2 Indy doubleheaders in the beginning. Yeah. Hit Daytona, go to Homestead, go to St. Pete, meet up with them, or do Daytona, go to St. Pete, meet up with them. Mm-hmm. Go to Homestead, meet up back up with them, Daytona Roval, hit Atlanta, and then make your way west. Like, I know the trucks don't travel like that, but like they travel everywhere regardless.
Exactly.
Like
they already started the season in fucking LA now. Like
they used to start it in California.
Yeah, but I think there was weeks in between that. Like they had to go all the way out to LA just to go back to Charlotte to go back to Florida. Like I think there was like another race or two between that and Daytona.
What Riverside? Was that what it was called?
Yeah, Riverside. Okay. Yeah.
That was a road course too.
That was a road course. Now, personally, I think NASCAR and IndyCar should do more doubleheaders.
I mean, they're under kind of like the same banner now, right? Or no?
Well, no. IndyCar is Penske.
Okay.
NASCAR is NASCAR.
Okay.
But I think they should do more race weekends together. Still have IndyCar as its premier series, and you still have the Cup Series as its premier series. Mm-hmm. Like, don't try to say like the IndyCar is gonna be like the warm up for Cup Series. Like Saturday is going to be for IndyCar. Maybe you have the Xfinity Series before the Cups, before the the IndyCar race, or maybe you could put the trucks before
IndyCar.
Put the trucks before the IndyCar, and you put Xfinity before Cup.
Do like doubleheaders.
Do doubleheaders like that, and you will see a lot of.
That'll be long.
A lot of cross, pollination in fans.
That'll be long days with road courses, but that would be fun.
Mm-hmm. But IndyCar races on ovals.
They could do that too, for sure.
I mean,
NASCAR could go to Iowa. That's where Indy does their
Cup Series should go to Iowa. They already do 2 days at Iowa. Mm-hmm. Bring Cup and Xfinity. Do Indy and Cup on one day, and do Indy and Xfinity one day, and Indy Cup the next day.
Truck Cup. Or no, you're saying both Indy's car.
Because Indy already does the doubleheader. Okay. Bring them to Iowa. Hy-Vee is already putting the stands there because they put in temporary grandstands because there's not enough there.
Oh.
So I mean, you're bringing NASCAR.
Yeah.
I think the Cup. Well, I don't know how the current Cup. I don't know how the current Cup car would do at Iowa because it is more of a short track.
But it's a fast short track.
Yeah.
Because it's high banked.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. But I think that would be cool. I mean, and then you would have a race literally in the Midwest.
Yeah. We were talking about, because we were talking about more before, but we touched on it while recording this, with, going to the same cities, and you talk about Nashville with the 2 tracks, but,
3, technically.
Technically, you could have 3, but,
Or even if they were to do like
But,
the,
like,
the
you have-
Nashville Street, like have any do the Nashville Street Course, and then
When-
you have NASCAR do Fairgrounds,
Yeah.
same weekend.
Yeah. Just Indy Nashville racing.
Yeah.
But like some of these tracks like have these 2 dates of like the same racing.
Yeah.
And
Like I feel like if you have 2 dates, the races should be different in one way or another.
they've got to be drastically different.
Day night, different surface, something.
Different
Something's gotta be
different layout.
Yeah. I mean,
Oval.
the only 2 races that I'll give a pass. Well, 4 racetracks I'll give a pass to: Daytona, Talladega, Martinsville, and Bristol.
I mean, Daytona, they did the Roval there.
And they also had day night. So I mean, that's Talladega. You can't really do much.
No, Talladega's Talladega, which is fine.
Yeah, Richmond should have 1 date.
Yeah, of course. Just make it a night race.
Richmond should have no dates right now.
Martinsville started as a dirt track. No dirt on there.
You can make that work. You could make that work. It's still crazy to me that like North Wilkesboro was gone forever, brought back from the dead, was gonna have 1 race right on the asphalt, then they're gonna tear up the asphalt, race on the dirt, and then everyone's like, "Oh, this is gonna be the dirt track for NASCAR. It's gonna be North
Wilkesboro.
North Wilkesboro. Baby. No, it's not."
And now that might get Bristol's date.
Yeah.
That's the rumor.
Yes, that's what I want to talk about. So that's what I want to talk about in off track.
Sorry.
So no. So rumors going around that Bristol is going to lose its spring date to North Wilkesboro. Now there's a little talk about going around, and I'm like, yeah, I could see it. But we attended the dirt race last year in 22.
Yeah.
So I bought the tickets. So I have, they have my email.
Yeah.
The other day, I'd gotten an email from SMI
To take a survey
about the Bristol Dirt Race. And basically, it's like what you liked, what you didn't like. Now, I already took this back when I went to the race back in 2022. Like, I already filled it out then. Because I always like to fill out those surveys just because I like to voice my opinion.
Yeah.
That's why I have this fucking podcast. I like to voice my opinion about NASCAR.
Mm-hmm.
I like to commend tracks that do good, and I like to fucking call out tracks that do bad.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what grows the fan experience for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So I filled it out. I was honest. I didn't bash the track. I liked the dirt race.
It was fun to watch.
I still have to say that Bristol had the best fan amenities at any track I've ever been to.
Yeah.
As far as fan accessibility, stuff to do at the track, everything was just from a fan's perspective. That is the best track I've ever been to. I mean, we camped like a mile away, but it didn't feel like it.
No, they had plenty of ways to get to the track.
Yeah.
Without killing ourselves.
No. The only downside of that weekend was the rain. But you're in the southeast, in the mountains, in spring. It's gonna rain.
But the racing was good.
The racing was good, yeah.
For both series, the attendance was up from previous years for the spring race.
Yes.
Remember, we talked about like when they barely sold out
they didn't sell the turns.
They didn't sell the turns, and then the straights, but the straights were even full. The
straights were still empty. Yeah, that was 2019. That was the last concrete spring race.
And then they started selling more.
But I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, I guess North Wilkesboro's east of Nashville. I mean, east of Bristol. Southeast, maybe.
What city? What state is North Wilkesboro? It's in Tennessee.
No, North Wilkesboro's in North Carolina. Yeah.
Well, Bristol, Tennessee.
Yeah, so it'll be east.
Bristol.
It's on the border of Tennessee and Virginia. So it's in Tennessee, but Bristol's on the border.
Yeah.
So it would be east.
Yeah. Much further east.
Yeah. Maybe it's better there in April. I don't know. It's a smaller track. I mean, like you can't dry a dirt track.
No. Just run. Well, that's why like. It's also very high banked.
Yeah.
So like, They had to stay up to speed, or else they slid off. That's why I said, like,
happened
when we went, yeah. Like, go to Martinsville. If it's a light rain, like, they're already sliding around regardless. Like, a light rain is going to keep that track nice and moist. It would be better. Mm-hmm. It's flat. Yeah. I think they may be thinking of North Wilkesboro because it's a flatter short track, so wet racing, damp racing.
True.
That's why.
True. Forgot about that.
But, I mean, North Wilkesboro and Martinsville, you can do as dirt tracks.
Yes. I thought they would.
But Martinsville has 2 races.
Because I think they're ready to scrap the dirt idea entirely.
I liked it. I had fun with it.
Oh, I thought it was cool too. But, I mean, it is what it is, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it was good at Bristol, but I don't think it was the track.
No.
To do it. I think, like I said, Martinsville, like, because dirt tracks are short, flat tracks. So that would be a better option.
I still want to do Bristol.
We could still do Bristol at some point.
Yeah.
You know, regular Bristol.
I'm trying to do that with Jill this year.
Are you? Okay.
We'll see. I mean, you know, see how next Monday goes.
Next Monday?
Yeah. The 3rd.
What's next Monday?
We're not recording next Monday. We're recording next Tuesday.
Oh. Why?
I'll tell you later.
Okay. I remember you asked about that, but I forget why.
Yeah. Weird how that works. Anyway, I think we've rambled enough here. Quickly, so we already went over what do you expect. We went way into what do we expect out of this, and I think what we expected in NASCAR as a whole. But who's your pick for the Chicago Street Course race? I'm gonna go with the Dinger. I think he's gonna pull it off, and I think he's gonna go dive into the fountain.
You know what? I want to pick the Super.
Van Gerben.
Because he's gonna be in a good. Yeah, because he's gonna be in a good car, and he's used to this racing.
Yes, he's the only one with experience of street course racing.
I think he could have a good. I'm not gonna say he's win, but I think he's gonna have a
top
good
10?
Race. Yeah, I think so.
Top 10 or top 15?
15's safe bet. I want to say top 10.
You want to say top 10? Okay.
Top 15 is like super safe bet. Yeah. I think he could do better. I think he could do top 10.
Okay.
Because
over under that Ross Wrexham. Because like who's the first driver that's gonna get pissed off just by like casual because like at the Clash you hit one person, they hit another person, they hit the next person. I feel like we're gonna get a lot of that here. Who do you think
he's used to that? If you're saying
no, I'm saying him.
We're looking at the field.
Yeah, who's the first driver that's gonna bitch about getting wrecked? In a circumstance that it's not the fault of the guy behind him. Bush? Yeah?
Because he's already kind of been complaining about this.
Even though he sent, Blaney into
that wasn't his fault.
No, it wasn't his fault, but like
because as you said when you were describing it on the podcast, Bowman got into back of him.
But I mean they were all checking up. I mean
yeah. I think can I give you 3 drivers?
Yeah.
Bush, Logano, I think he's going to complain. He'll have something to say. And I'm between Keselowski and Hamlin.
Okay, so I'm Bush, Keselowski, Hamlin, or Bubba.
Bubba's not really good on road courses.
No, he's not. But I feel like if he gets taken out, he's gonna get pissed off and like, I could have a chance. Like I
don't think so. I think he's gonna be bummed in the like. He's gonna have one of those like, I just hate it, But I don't think he's gonna. Unfortunately, he's not really good at road courses, so he's not gonna be in a position to like have a good finish. So
Denny's definitely gonna complain.
Yeah.
Denny is definitely going to... If he doesn't win, he's going to complain.
So you're taking Keselowski. I'm going to take Logano. And then we're both taking... Well, no, because I also said...
We both said Bush and Logano. We were split...
You said Hamlin. I said Keselowski.
We were split on Keselowski and Bubba.
Okay.
We both had Hamlin.
Okay. No, because you said Keselowski, and I was like split on Keselowski and Hamlin, but we both said Logano. Yeah. Okay.
And Busch, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like Kyle Busch is either gonna do great. He's either gonna suck or luck his way in at the end.
He's also not strong on road courses.
Are you kidding?
How many wins does he have?
He was leading a lot of Sonoma.
I didn't watch a lot of Sonoma.
Well, that's like your fucking fault. He did great at Coda and he did great at Sonoma.
But otherwise, I don't think he usually he doesn't outperform it.
He's been doing well in the A car.
Okay. Well, that's overall.
But he has a couple wins on road courses in the 18.
But nothing like Hamlin.
I would know because Sonoma's usually around my birthday, and I have to fucking watch Kyle Busch win on my birthday when I was growing up.
Okay. But it's like, because he had a lot of his racing with Joe Gibbs. Like,
yeah,
Hamlin is good at road courses. Truex Jr., he's got his fourth at Sonoma.
Good. Yeah, he's good at road courses.
He's good at road courses. We know the Hendrick guys are decent at road courses. Like, there are names still now that like you associate with road course racing.
Yeah, Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, Truex,
Hamlin,
AJ Allmendinger,
yeah,
Michael McDowell.
But you just named all those guys. You didn't name Busch.
No,
he's good, but he's not.
He's been good this year though, and that's what counts.
Okay. But so I think if he's good this year, he's going to be up there, not super up there. So he could get caught in something, and he could probably complain. He's going to be in the traffic a lot, so he's going to complain. Toad. But yeah, those are the drivers I think are going to complain. I want to go with the. He's got 4 total.
4.
That's total.
Yeah.
And these other guys, I'm pretty sure have more than that.
Mark Martin has 5.
Mark Martin?
Yeah. Oh no, Mark Martin has 4. He's tied with 4 with David Pearson and Mark Martin at 4.
Okay.
I thought that was Truex.
Truex has 4 just at
Sonoma. Yeah.
But he has more than that in general, I think. Like you used to have.
This is from 2015, June 24th, 2015. Top 10 best road course drivers in NASCAR.
Clint Boyer.
2015. Stop. This is my Bleacher Report. Number 10, Clint Boyer. What the fuck?
His lone win at Sonoma. Lone.
Kevin Harvick.
How many wins does he have? Not a lot.
His only workhorse at 2015 was in 2006.
Okay, I don't think he's won since.
Jimmy Johnson, come on!
He has a couple.
His lone win came in 2010 at Sonoma.
I thought he had a couple.
No, I don't think he won at Watkins Glen. Carl Edwards.
He's also he's not a road course name.
He has at least one win at Sonoma according to this picture.
Is this just for Sonoma or is it?
This is road course. Tony Stewart. That's a name.
That was a name. Truex Jr., like I said.
Yeah. In 2015, I would definitely put Stewart above Truex.
Yeah. Jeff is going to be number 1.
Yeah. Kurt Busch. Kyle Busch.
How many?
3.
Total?
Yeah. As a 15.
That's a great shot.
Who's higher than Jeff Gordon?
Who's higher than Jeff Gordon in 2015?
Ambrose. Oh, Allmendinger. He has one win.
But he's good.
He is good, but he's got one win.
Yeah.
All right, so that was a little bit of
bad
memory
list.
lane. Yeah.
That was a bad list.
That's what we're trying to be better than.
I would have had one out of all those drivers. 1 and 2 were Smoke and Gordon.
Yeah, in 2015, hell yeah. Clint Boyer wasn't be anywhere near that list. Steven Johnson wouldn't be anywhere near that list.
No, those other guys, yeah but.
All right, so.
Okay.
So I'm going with the Dinger. You're going with the Australian.
Is he Australian?
Yeah.
Okay.
V8 supercar, or maybe
Well,
from New
that's
Zealand.
what he races in. He racing V8.
Have you had enough for this episode? Because I think I'm nearing my limit for this episode.
Yeah.
So, all right. All that said, this has been episode number 18 of the Armchairs Racers podcast with your host Tommy Joe and my co-host here, Ricky Bobby.
I don't know what to do with my hands. What do I do with my hands?
just put them down. Just put them down. So
rock and roll.
Rock and roll.